In this video, I want to talk about a sensitive but important topic, religion. So during my journey with the Divine Source, I was taught about a lot of religions. I think I have not covered every single religion, but the Source has showed me enough number of religions to show that how there are little commonalities between among all these religions, and how they are also vastly different, as in how they are just a product of something that's part of their culture or the history of the land. So any religion is made out of human minds. Trust me, nobody has designed religion to be that way or for the sake of controlling people, which it has become now. But originally it was just a product of their own culture, roots, and the history of the land from which those ideas, myths, and stories and really the whole religion came from. There are people who want to hold on to things because they want to feel a little secure, or somehow they want to feel important. Some people even use religion to again exert control and power. Just like everything else that is a product of this physical world, religious can also be something that can be used in many ways. It depends on the individual and their intention and motive behind it. But to my understanding, what I was made aware of is ultimately all religion comes down to one thing: control. Because it primarily dictates the primary segregation itself starts from the whole gender thing. So someone else decides that one gender is superior to other, and then someone has to submit to that authority, and they have no other existence apart from that. And the one in the power loves the idea of power, and so they created systems that will sustain this power, that will sustain and keep repeating this lie of power and authority that is only in them because of their inherent gender or whatever, so that they can keep sustaining this image of themselves, the superior image of themselves. And they will use power, control, abuse, violence, domination, dominion, to maintain that superiority and to perpetuate it. Think about it for a minute. If that's really the good thing, if that's really the right thing, then why is this primary bond between a man and woman so broken that it has to be about manipulation, control, violence, and dominion? Why has it not nurtured itself the way it should, as two equals coming together, complementing and compensating each other? I mean, is it that difficult? Is it that impossible? But it doesn't profit or benefit the systems in place. And since religion becomes such a core part of person's identity, because it's not something you choose. At least nowadays people are calling themselves atheists and this and that. But few decades ago, there was no freedom as such. People are born into it, just like families. So it becomes a part of their identity automatically. So use something as powerful and as core to a human existence as a religion, something that carries some kind of a weight in their lives, and then use it to manage their lives. That is why when people want to talk about religious concepts, they are so afraid of being politically incorrect and offending people and being phobic of some kind. Now that people are using all sorts of language and then attach phobic at the end of the word just to make you seem like that becomes your identity. It's not. I'm just standing up for something. And I'm not intending to harm anybody with that name. If you want to label me for something that I am standing up for, that's your problem, because you cannot see beyond labels, unfortunately. But me, on the other hand, I have no problem viewing myself without feeling the need to put myself in a box, a label, and calling myself phobic of some kind. That is what the society has come down to, unfortunately. So target something as primitive as religion, because it's something you're born into. It's a core part of your identity somehow, whether you follow the religion or not, whether you accept it or not, whether you fully get inside the nitty-gritties of it or not, somehow it become a part of your identity, and anyone who has something to say otherwise becomes your enemy automatically, and it becomes a war. Who created religions? We have to think about it. The source, when the source was revealing to me different religions one by one, and showing me the weaknesses in it, and how it was not meant for the better of humanity. It was to divide them and control them and manipulate them, to create disturbances and differences and discriminations between themselves. Because united we stand, divided we fall. That applies for all humanity. So someone else created it and tailor-made it to their own culture and roots and background and history of the land. And then they told this is what the divine is all about. And everything in it tells you to somehow discriminate, violate, use power structures. Someone is authority, someone has no authority. Use this bullshit to manipulate you into thinking you have no power whatsoever. So when the source was revealing to me all these inherent weaknesses of the so-called religions created, and it was not just one religion, it showed me a lot. That's why I had to take a lot of time, give up on all those things of the physical world, so that I can focus on what is it that the universe was trying to show me. What is it the creation, the divine was trying to show me. For that I have to isolate, I have to separate, give up on all the physical things. And I was going through all these religions. And the more I research, all I find is a human mind in it. There is nothing divine in it. It's so surprising. And again, why I was able to pick these differences, because I could see clearly the difference between the inherent human value and the self-esteem and what I was taught by the divine since I was a child, and how humans are treating each other, and what are the values that they try to teach me. They are all vastly different, even to this day. That is how I was able to pick that everything that is in the religion is manipulated, tainted, and corrupted by the human mind. So whoever wrote it from their own perspectives, and all of them are males. I'm not saying anything about the gender, but I'm saying that in itself has to reveal something disturbing pattern there. How come all these scriptures are written by males? Like as if female as a gender or a person never existed? Like she never has any kind of divine revelations? Poor thing, her existence is so puny that nothing divine ever reaches her mind and heart, ever reaches her intelligence. She cannot write books. That's the thing. She is not allowed to be human. She was a servant and a slave. She was not allowed to be educated. She cannot read things. She cannot write things. She cannot express things. She is a robot supposed to serve somebody else's purpose day in, day out. She's not supposed to go out. She's not supposed to ponder and have critical thinking. She's not supposed to analyze stuff. She's not supposed to do anything. So how will she end up writing books or scriptures for that matter? She can't, poor thing. That should reveal something very disturbing within the whole idea of religion itself. You don't have to be a woman to see it, but if you're a reasonable human, you will be able to see what I'm pointing out here. And if you create a rift between the most primary creations of this entire creation, man and woman, well, what else is left? You do enough damage between them, create toxic structures between them, and make it seem like it's the only way God wanted them to exist, and then ruin everything. All you have to do is do that, and the rest of the damage follows as it is, isn't it? You take away the root, you corrupt it, and then you fill it with poison, and then you let it go and plant more and more such plants, and they become millions and millions and trillions. There's enough poison there already. You have to look at religion like that. Doesn't matter what kind of religion you are belonging to, or you make it such a core identity that you become offended when someone has something to say about it. All are the same. Trust me, all are the same. They are all there for one purpose. The same social media, culture, TVs, movies, stories, myths. This is the same as the religions and scriptures. There is some truth in it. Somewhere truth has seeped itself into it. But you have to be very wise, very separated from the physical things and attachments to see which parts are truthful to the soul, truthful to the human, and which parts are destructive. Because the truth is only barely about 10%. And the rest of it is fluff. That is how all deceptions work. Put in a little bit of truth in it, and then corrupt it to so much extent, adulterate it, so much. The truth gets obscured. You have to do a lot more work to just see the truth, let alone analyze and critically think and relate it to the world and do all the gymnastics, mental gymnastics that comes later. To see the truth courageously and to accept it and to actually dismantle it and understand that the essence of it takes a lot of inner work. I went through that work, and that's why I'm confidently saying that what you see is fluff. And that fluff was created to destroy people's minds and bodies and lives, souls. The inherent nature of us, the spirit, the soul, and the divine nature of it, and to adulterate it. And religions do the same thing. All religions I went through, I researched, and I tried seeking what is it in it? Why is the universe showing it to me? And I tried and researched. I have this tendency to intellectually dig deeper into everything. And I did at least 7-8 religions, major religions of entire world. And I can see the same patterns everywhere. And I see the same patterns in this world, in the primary genders, wars, the differences and discriminations, and all the violence and violations come from between. Violation and violence doesn't have to be like a war, a nuclear war, an attack. You have to understand someone breaching someone's respect, privacy, dignity, boundary is a violation. Show me one person who is inherently so connected to the nature, the creation, that they do not want to violate anything and everybody, and at the very least they are trying their best not to do it because they know the inherent truth of the creation. Because they know any subtle violation is still a violation. And they are trying their best not to do it, or if they do, because they are human, they make mistakes, they are pulling back, sorry, they forgive themselves, if it is possible, they apologize and ask for forgiveness for the other person, and they make an effort to not make those mistakes again. How many people are that self-correcting? Because the universe built humans like that. It's not built to violate each other left, right, and center to feel important and powerful. It's the culture, it's the people in the power, it's someone who is determined to create differences and wars and rifts between people between wife and husband, between children and parents, between man and woman, between upper and lower, between educated and uneducated, between the poor and the rich, between this and that. Everything has to be divided into categories so that they can be, they are busy fighting with each other. I mean, if universe has built us to fight, to ruin, to violate, then what's the point? You have to think. We are self-correcting. We learn. We better. We learn not to violate anything. The natures of law is inside of us. But if we are too attached to the physical world, we will not see it. If you make something as dangerous as religions and cultures and other bondages that come with your birth, your core identities, you are leaving the real identity that's the divine in you, and you are overpowering yourself with those artificial things that were poured on you later on after your birth and all that, and you make them your identity so much you get carried away, and you continue perpetuating the same poison that was created. No. So one has to look at the divinity in them and see that all kinds of things that are created here are created for a reason, to dominate people, to divide them, keep them at war with each other. Conflicts, you and I, them and us, this and that, so much they will stop living for themselves in their own divinity and rather get busy destroying each other, living externally. The job is done. Put enough poison and leave it, it will do its own job. And that's what is happening. And religion plays a crucial role in it. Like I said, since it comes with the inherent identity with you, and everybody around you reinforces it as well. Doesn't matter if you follow certain religion or not, but you are somehow living in the same environment. Your elders, your ancestry, your relatives, your friends of some similar kind will start forming groups, whether you are fully engaged in the activities or not, and that becomes part of your identity so much that instead of critically looking at it, you become enraged if someone has something to say about it. Political correctness, the word itself says it's for political reasons. We are not here to do politics. We are humans. But everybody is busy making us forget that. Why? Keeping us busy with breaking things down, breaking ourselves down. Why? Think about it.